today we're going to be looking at a snowman. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel, Kazzalistic, and hi to my new subscribers. Another little jump, don't know where you're all coming from, but I'm glad to have you on board. So today we're going to be looking at this guy. Little snowman. Now I apologise to those of you waiting for the decorations banner. I just haven't finished it. I got sidetracked by this project, so that will be the next video, I promise. I got a little bit excited about this because my friend that I care for loves snowmen, and I just had to make this as a decoration for our home. We haven't actually decorated yet. I'll explain why in the life update. But so this is the guy. He's actually classed as a flag. I've added a cord to the top so that I can hang him, but he actually is supposed to have a rod put through this section here, so you hang him like a flag. I don't have any rods, so I've improvised just very slightly. So the pattern I've used is called Frosty Garden Flag, and it's by Snappy Tots. So their hat is a lot higher than it. Excuse the printing, that the ink was running out. So but that's the. It's by Snappy Tots. It is a paid for pattern. I managed to pick this up for free on Black Friday. That is a tip actually, that if you're looking for free paid for patterns that you can pick up for free, quite often events like Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, Black Friday, things like that. Sometimes the designers will put a code up for any of their paid patterns, and you can usually pick one, or sometimes they'll be for specific patterns. So this was a code. Now I'm trying to think. I think it was Ella that put the code up for this one on my Facebook group. So thanks very much, Ella, because I saw this, I got very excited, hence why I've already done it. So that's where I picked it up, but it is a paid for pattern. I'll put the link for it down in the description. Okay, so I'm going to do yarns that I've used first. Now I've used, again, I've used that in my own stash because this is going to be something I'm going to be keeping as part of my Christmas decorations. So the black yarn is Mariner Double Knit, and the shade is C-045 Black. This is one of their older codes, but black double knit is black double knit. The white for the face, again, is Mariner Double Knit, shade 040 White, over there we go. And as you can see, that was 100 gram ball. I've hardly used any of it. This is actually a very good scrap buster project. The green, which is for the bow, this was a ball that I'd already broken into, so again I've hardly used any of it. Mariner Double Knit, and the shade is 091 Emerald. So these are newer codes, the last two. Okay. And then for the nose, I've used Mariner Double Knit. This was one that I've shown recently on the channel that was already a tiny cake anyway. C-014 Orange. And last but not least, again, this was just a scrap that I had, and it's Mariner Double Knit, and it's C-032 Red. Again, this is an older code, the orange and the red, but red and orange obviously are pretty standard. So they're all double knits. You'll also need, if you do it the way that I've done it, you'll also need a pipe cleaner. I got this little pack for £1, and there was 30 of them in there from what was the warehouse shop in the town that I live. Unfortunately it's shut down now. So they are, how many centimetres does it say? No, it doesn't say, but basically it's just a strip like that, and I actually had to cut some off each end. So so you will need some pipe cleaners if you do it the way I do it. If not, you will need a wooden dowel. Okay, so this is a pretty easy pattern. So you start at the top here, you do a chain, you work a row of single crochets. Now what you should do is from there down to, this is the point where it stops on the back, straight half double crochets. Now this was a case of, I was very tired, I picked the pattern up having already started it, and I'd had a break from it, and I started doing single crochet. So the hat for me was actually done in single crochet instead of half double. That was a whack oops. So it probably would have come out a little bit taller. My whole pattern has come out considerably smaller than the measurements for the actual pattern, and that is purely because they've used US worsted weight yarn, which is like our Aran weight here in the UK, and most of my stuff I've got is double knit, which is the most common yarn here in the UK. So my hat would have come out taller had I used the correct yarn that they said, but actually I quite like the height of that, although it's not as, you see there, one is a lot taller in comparison. I quite like the height of this one. I have done the same amount of rows as what they've said in the pattern. The brim is done separately. Again, it's just a chain, and I think it was half double crochets. Let me just check. Yep, and it's basically I think it was about 5 rows of half double crochets. Now what I have done when I put it up against my hat, because the top of this mauve hat was a lot shorter, it was a bit too wide, so I actually did fold it over, so it should actually be wider than this, but I just folded it over and stitched it because it just didn't look right. So that is a slight alteration I've made. When you get down to here with your black, you change to white. You do a couple of rows. Basically you work in half double crochets, which I did actually do half double crochets for the face, and then basically when you get down to this point you start shaping, and either end you start doing 2 single crochets together, 2 half double crochets together, this is US terminology, half double crochet across, and the last 4 stitches 2 half doubles, 2 half double crochets together, 2 single crochets together. So that's half trebles or doubles if you're in the UK, and that's basically how you shape the bottom of the face. Really simple. The mouth is just a stitch, just running stitch, weaving in and out. The eyes are done with magic ring, and then you do 8 single crochets in US terms, or double crochets in the UK, and finish off. So they're really nice, but of course you could use buttons. The nose again starts with a chain, and basically you're doing sort of a combination of slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet up one side, you turn, and then you basically repeat the pattern back down. That's the basic of it. Obviously I can't give you the exact stitches because obviously it's copyrighted pattern, it's a paid for pattern, so I just need to be a little bit careful. But basically you're doing big stitches one end of the nose and smaller stitches at the bottom. It's basically a couple of rows. Yeah, and then you stitch both the nose and the eyes on. I think they're really cute. And then for the bows, actually these are just rectangular pieces. You do the green piece first, which is slightly wider than the red one, so there's a few more stitches in it. Again, it's a chain with half double crochets, that's US terms, half trebles if you're here in the UK, and you just work in a few rows backwards and forwards, so you've got a rectangle. You do the same for the red, but obviously your chain is shorter, so you'll have less stitches. And then you leave a long tail end on your red, you place it on top of the green, you wrap the yarn, you basically slip stitch your before you finish off on the red, you slip stitch to the middle of your project of the red rectangle. Then you put them together, wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap them around, and then tie it off. You leave the end in place for stitching on. And then the snowman is just a circle, which is, I'm talking about this bit here of the snowman. And that was single crochets, that's US terms, half doubles if you're in the UK. And the eyes and the nose and the mouth were just stitched on. That is then stitched to the bow, and then the bow is stitched to the hat. A little bit fiddly to stitch on, did struggle with that just a teeny bit. And then the only other bit is the top of the hat. You basically roll back, so this is the back side of it. As you can see, my stitches aren't showing through, but it's decoration, so I wasn't overly worried. So you fold it over by down to the, I think it's the 5th row, and stitch it. So basically you've got a little pocket that runs through. Now normally for this pattern you would then thread it onto a rod wherever you're going to hang it, and that's your decoration finished. And this is what I did different. So I then inserted a pipe cleaner, trimmed it down either end. I stitched the ends up so it doesn't pop out, and the reason I've done that is just to keep the top of it flat. And then I did I haven't got my notebooks with me. It's the other side of the room, but basically for the handle, I can't remember the exact number of chains. I will put down in the description the number of chains when I upload the video. Basically I did a chain and single crocheted across and then stitched at either end of the hat, and that's the finished result. So it's a lovely, quick, easy project. I really enjoyed doing this. It does need blocking. I haven't blocked mine yet because the face does curl under, so it doesn't lay completely flat at the minute. So mine does need blocking. But yeah, what do you think? I think he's really cute. So we're going to be hanging him up on the wall as part of our Christmas decorations. My friend I care for, she's absolutely mad about snowmen, so this was something to kind of cheer her up and bring some enjoyment into her life. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So that's it for the craft bit. Now my apologies if you were expecting the banner. I did absolutely want to get that finished. I got a little bit distracted by the snowman. You know, sometimes you pick up a project, you're like, oh, I've got to go, I'm really enjoying this, and I really enjoyed doing that one. So the banner got put on the back burner. It's halfway done, so I'm going to try and get that finished for Tuesday's video. And I would have got it done, but we've had a few bits and pieces going on this week, so had a little less time to crochet this week than I normally would. So here comes the life update bit. So what's been happening since I saw you? Well, first couple of days were pretty normal, pretty uneventful. Yesterday, however, which was Friday, was very busy indeed. I went into town with my mum to do some Christmas shopping. I've now got most of my Christmas shopping. I've still got some little bits done, but I've got the worst of the bulk done, thankfully, so I'm feeling a little bit calmer. Still got some bits and pieces to get, and I like to have a list of what I've got for people so I can work out if there's anything else I need to get, so I need to sit down and do that, but I'm pretty much there. Going into town is particularly difficult for me because I suffer from anxiety and depression, and town has always been a big trigger for me, particularly when it's busy. It actually wasn't too busy. It was a little bit busy, but not heaving, if you know what I mean. But there were people tutting and pushing, and it bewilders me how this is supposed to be such a happy time of year and everyone is just so nasty and miserable in the shops. That's why I hate it. I will apologise to somebody if I accidentally bump into them. You know, smile at people and you just get scowled at, and I really don't like that side of it. So I managed to get through that. And then I came home to discover we had a leak. We have an airing cupboard in the bedroom, and our neighbour who lives beneath us had gone to get a jumper out of her airing cupboard, which is directly beneath ours, and discovered her jumper was soaking wet. So she thought she'd got the leak originally. She called the landlord out, and it turned out our stopcock was leaking. So it leaked into, we had a carpet in the bottom of the cupboard, so that's all leaked into there and all the stuff. So we had some wet stuff, and it got a bit damp and mank. So they reckoned it had been leaking for quite a time. It was just a very tiny drip, and it was running down the pipe and down into our neighbour's flat. She's very gracious about it, thankfully. So we had the landlord come in and do that, and then of course we had to sort all the cupboard out because I had to pull everything out, have a bit of a sort through, try and get it as dry as I could do, you know, wipe where it had gone a bit musty and stuff like that. So then we had that. Also, one of my mum's dogs has been a little bit poorly, so we had to take her to the vet. That was late yesterday afternoon, so we had to drive out to the vets, take her. She's okay, she's got some medication, so we just got to wait and see if this medication works. We know what's wrong with her, and she will have treatment. It does mean more expense for my mum, and money is very tight for her, so it's a little bit of a worry. But we're hoping it's nothing serious, basically. We think the vet's pretty sure what it is, so providing the medication works the next 2-3 days, fingers crossed, we know what's wrong with her. But she was in quite a lot of discomfort, so I'm really hoping this medication is going to work and make her more comfortable, bless her. She's getting elderly, bless her, so So yes, we had that. So yesterday was a very eventful day. Normally I'm saying I've got a boring life, nothing ever happens, and yeah, yesterday it all happened in one day. So I'm very tired, a little bit stressed, so I'm still on the come down from that. Also on Tuesday when I recorded my last video, it was the anniversary of my grandma's death. She actually helped to raise me alongside my mum. So I was very close to her, and it's been 12 years since she passed away. So although I was very bubbly and happy in my video, I really was very low that day. The only reason I'm mentioning it is just because I like to raise awareness of what depression really looks like, and that's what depression really looks like. You can be dying inside and smiling on the outside, and I'm very, very good at doing that. That's a skill I learnt within my job, because part of my job, although I was a PA, also involved reception before I took voluntary redundancy, and I learnt what they do call masking. So I can smile and be happy, but inside I can be screaming and crying, and that's quite common with a lot of people with depression. Most people think depression is sitting and crying, and that can be part of it, particularly if you're very severely ill. And I have had periods like that, but when you're just a bit down and a bit stressed, or you know, you're grieving, I'm very good at masking, unfortunately, and that's what you saw on Tuesday's video, which was the last video that went up. So well, yeah, both the last two videos, because obviously I recorded them the same day. So it just goes to show that depression isn't always what you think. But don't worry, I'm absolutely fine now. Just had a little bit of a blip in the week. It's quite common with depression. I know how to pull myself out of it, and I'm absolutely fine now. I'm just a little bit tired and recovering from the stress of yesterday. So I'm cooking roast dinner as we speak. My mum's due in the next 5-10 minutes, so I'm going to end it here, and then I'm going to fill my tummy with lots of yummy food. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Like I said, apologies it wasn't the banner, but that will be the next video. The next couple of weeks are quite busy for me. I have a couple of visitors due. We've got appointments to do and stuff, so they probably will be quite small projects. So there'll probably be some baubles or kind of ornament sort of type things. So just bear with me that, but I think something to show you might give you a little idea of something you want to put on the tree or decorate your home. So bear with me. You know what it's like, guys, this time of year. Everything's busy. There's a lot to do. There's food to get, presents to get, oh, excuse me, to wrap, trees to put up. So we haven't put the tree up, we haven't put our decorations up yet because of what happened yesterday. So I'm hoping to get that done in the next 2 or 3 days. So my friend is itching to get them up, but I've got a lot of tidying. I've got to tidy all my magazines and finish projects for Woolly Hugs that I haven't been able to afford to send off yet. So I've got a pile of stuff I've got to try and find a home for, which is not easy when you're in a small flat. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you're well wherever you are, and hope you're a little less stressed and having less eventful days than I had yesterday. What are you working on? Are you sorted for Christmas? I'd love to know. And how's the weather been for you? We actually had a little flurry of snow a couple of days ago. We had 2 flurries actually. Very short-lived. The area I live in Suffolk in the UK, is actually the most arid area of the UK, which means we have the least rainfall. So it generally means we get the least snow as well. So snow is, we used to get a lot more when I was younger, but it's a pretty rare event these days. So little flurry of snow was quite exciting. It's my friend's most favourite thing. She prays for snow every year, so it was nice to have a little bit. It's just but I was kind of glad it cleared before I went into town yesterday. So yeah, so that was a little bit exciting. So what's your weather like? Is it raining? I know if you're in Australia, obviously it's summer, so it'll be a little bit different to how it is over this side of the globe. But yeah, how's life treating you? I love to know. Don't forget you can join us in the Facebook group. That is where we put up things where if we find a free pattern, you know, where a designer is offering a paid for pattern for free, we put stuff like that. We share our projects, silly quotes, all sorts of things. So it's a very active group. So do come along and join us. And of course, don't forget to give me a little subscribe if you're not already subscribed, to make sure you don't miss any videos. So that's it, and so until next time, remember to stay well, happy crafting, and until next time, remember to stay true to yourself. Bye.